Hey, it's Cattails TV at the beach. I'm taking some me time because Dancing with the Stars has its finale tonight. And of course, I'm in California, and the show's shot in California, and the actual time it starts here is 5 p.m. And I don't know. I'll be watching it on Twitter. I might go on Twitter and you guys send me clips, please, at Cattails TV with the K and two T's, uh, ALES TV, Cat Tails. I tell Tails TV, and I'll watch the videos. Thanks, and I wish all the finalists the best dance of their lives. I'm going to try to be brief. This is really about 50 Cent and Jaguar Wright and her spilling tea, and no one sued her yet for I don't even know how long she's been doing it. I've seen her videos and her interviews on and off the last couple of I don't know. I guess during the Tory Lanez case mainly, but I didn't really know who she was. But I appreciate all the info that she tells, and no one's sued her yet, which is something she likes to say. And not only that, her facts seem to manifest, or what she says manifests into facts for us to see later. I hope she really does have all the evidence that she says she does, and I think she's going to be a positive magnet for change. But getting back to this Diddy extravaganza of corruption makes me wonder again, who is watching the connections and the multiple deaths, and who's putting it together? Why does it take all these fans or observers outside putting all this stuff together? I thought a detective would be doing this, or, the FBI or somebody that cared about drugging people and sex trafficking across state lines. I mean, I think that's a federal case. What I also don't understand is that a lot of these rappers, and I'm specifically talking about this case that's going on, right? There's other people doing stuff, but we're talking about this situation. Anyway, people are talking about being drugged, and they're always talking about drugs at parties, but the people that brag about doing the drugs there seems to be no consequences. I just remember Charlie Sheen. He was bragging about doing 8 balls of coke and having these parties. He never got arrested for it. So obviously Hollywood has this thing that if you are a certain level, they don't fuck with you unless you do something very, very major that pisses somebody off. Which makes me think Diddy did something major, 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 and it pissed somebody off. Was it Clive Davis? Was it someone above Clive Davis? I don't know, but I know this might sound naive on my part, but I'm starting to understand stuff that I never really understood. Especially the Tory Lanez case was like the nail in the coffin. I mean, I knew LA was corrupt, but it really was just like, okay, I'm done. There's no hope for the city when it comes to justice. And the fact that Suge Knight won a civil suit, what I mean by won, he wasn't found liable for the death of a man that he ran over twice. How that is possible, it proves that also LA is corrupt. The whole fucking town's corrupt, and he got a plea deal, a man who ran over somebody twice and has a history of abuse. So these people front like they give a shit about victims, and they don't. They really don't. And then the people in the peanut gallery make fun of the victims and saying, oh, you know, she was just a money grab and, you know, she knew what she was getting into and blah, 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 blah. Not necessarily, and not at 19, and not if you've been on drugs for, I don't know, maybe 7 to 8 years. But it seems like prostitution and entertainment and drugs and sextortion go hand in hand in these circles, these Uber circles. And I don't understand how none of these people have been tried recently. I don't understand how. I mean, you can have great lawyers. I guess it's how it's run. You pay some lawyers a lot of money, and then you might have to pay some penalties to another power, and then you get off with stuff. Because there's no reason Diddy should have been getting away with this stuff for so long, and no one put it together unless they wanted it to be this way. So getting back to like Jaguar Wright, she's spilt a lot of tea that's come out to be very tasty and true. And she's been doing it for a very long time, you know. But just because someone's a little bit different doesn't mean they're not necessarily telling the truth. But, yeah. But she brought up something that I wasn't putting my finger on, you know, because I just got out of Dancing with the Stars. It just ended, and my covering it. I cover it if you don't know, and you're watching this video. But anyway, I have time to like sit and ponder the connections and what I learned from Tory Lanez case and the other cases that I've done is that 50 Cent may be an agent of chaos, pretending to be a hero when he's actually not. And he may have stuff to hide. And one of the reasons this comes to mind is in Tory Lanez case, there was all these different people pretending to be allies, but actually helping to sow chaos and to stop investigations and just to be a pain in the ass or show their ass. But it was all about them or whatever agenda they had. But again, let me bring up somebody that just crossed my mind. Snake Girl was connected to not only DMX, who Jay-Z hated. She's also connected to Ray J because she wanted to deal with him. She was trying to make a deal in the courthouse or sitting there, you know, getting ready for the Tory Lanez trial. She was asking everybody, hey, do you know anybody that knows Ray J? Because I got a $30,000 deal. So the reason why I bring her up is because she's connected to Jamie Foxx, DMX, Ray J, in the sense if she wanted to do a deal with them. Ray J's connected to Whitney Houston's death. Ray J's also connected to Brandy, who is also represented by Clive Davis. Of course, Clive Davis was Whitney Houston's record company and manager, whatever you want to call it, right? And Clive Davis was at Dancing with the Stars. Fucking crazy. And Clive Davis gave Diddy the money for Bad Boy Records. And then, of course, Snake Girl, I kept saying she's the micro... No, what did I say about her? Oh, yeah, I was saying, just off the top of it a long time ago, was she was the micro of Megan Thee Stallion, who, of course, is managed by Roc Nation, and therefore connected to Jay-Z. And then all these people are connected to Jay-Z, too. The shit's wild. Absolutely wild. And she had sex for stuff. So you have either sex work in the sense of being paid off by DMX or Jamie Foxx or an organization paying her off to do her whatever. But in the Tory Lanez case, she was, hovering around and trying to connect to different people. And, that's why I called her Snake Girl. She moves very sneaky and very, trying to turn people on and seduce them and try to act like, we were great friends when we weren't. But then became very, very aggressively mad that I called her out on her shit. I was getting weird phone calls and shit like that. So she's about control. And she reminds me of a person like Diddy in the sense of has an 8-year-old emotional mind. If you piss her off, she's going to attack you. Psychopathic narcissism. And in my opinion, Megan Thee Stallion has those traits as well because, Tory made her jealous and, she attacked. But she also loved flirting with danger in her friends' faces or business associates in the sense of she'd be fucking somebody close to them behind their back and she seemed to get off to it. She did that with Kelsey. She did that with Justin Edison, whose girlfriend was traveling with them after she allegedly got shot. She's in a pool with Justin Edison and he's like singing to a gun. And Justin Edison was her bodyguard, she was having an affair with, while his girlfriend didn't know. So these people, their pedigree is their pedigree, and their morals are their morals. But in the sense of a chess game and what they're willing to do to make a come up, it makes sense that 50 Cent is using the opportunity to not only make money and get a lot of press, but maybe to hide his own shady behavior. And Jaguar Wright has brought that to light, that 50 Cent was doing some interesting photographs on XXL magazine with Soulja Boy like 10 years ago. And it reminds me of, what's that stuff called? Like thug porn, if you know what I'm talking about. Like thuggy guys doing porn with each other. You know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you start looking at the magazines and images and music videos and you start realizing, I'm going to sound like a conspiracy nut. There is an agenda. You know what I mean? It's like they're using visuals to train us to accept things, right? My thing is, I don't have a problem with gay men. I think it's great. I feel like be gay, but are bisexual. Be honest with your partners. And it's weird too. I do believe not just gay men. I think there's people, because I remember Shaquille O'Neal, known for having multiple affairs, and he dated a chick that I knew. Where I'm going with this, but he had so many women that you had to start thinking he gets off to using a part of his brain to organize his schedule and to do it behind someone else's back. That takes a lot of like machinations of the brain. Like I wouldn't have time to be like sleeping with 5 guys if I was in a relationship with somebody or married, and then like, shooting all the stuff that I shoot. It'd be too much for my brain. But I think men are made different, and some men, they love being deceitful. It makes them, and some women, sorry, but I'm just saying the thing. But anyway, I don't like being deceitful. I don't like cheating on my partner. I don't want to be cheated on, so therefore I don't cheat on my partner. You know what I mean? And I don't want to put up with it. But some people, they don't have any morals. They do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't give shit about the consequences. Speaking of which, on my Twitter feed, I've been putting the herpes connection together because allegedly Usher had herpes. He was being sued by a bunch of partners, male and female. And then also there seems to be some articles about Diddy allegedly having herpes too. Now, the reason why this becomes interesting, if you start putting all these things together, not to say that it could be possible, it doesn't work, it doesn't happen, but Diddy was Usher's mentor. Usher turned Justin Bieber onto Diddy. So if Diddy and Usher have herpes, and they both have cases where they allegedly have herpes, and I believe R. Kelly had herpes, then it becomes interesting because, not saying these guys all banged each other, what I'm saying is, if you lead a hoary lifestyle and you're having multiple partners and you don't know who they've been with, but predominantly they've been with a lot of people, you are increasing your risk of having a sexually transmitted disease. Yes, you can get an STD by sleeping with one person only. What I'm just saying, though, the numbers of, when you add up all the people, both female and male, that these guys were banging in their circle, the numbers could be, it could be tens of thousands when you start adding like everyone connected. And that's why people have to be honest about what they're doing. But again, some people love to lie. They get off to it. It makes the world a sadder place because you're missing out on real intimacy. These people like to control people. They like to hurt people. They like to get off on power. And I feel like it comes from when they were a kid, they had no power. So they got stuck in that mindset of an undeveloped reptilian brain child who thinks, well, I didn't get what I want, so I'm going to scream and yell, and I'm going to punch you. I'm going to hurt you. They've never gone beyond that. They haven't evolved. And maybe they didn't have parental figures that taught them how to love and how to resolve conflict. Maybe they grew up in chaos. But that doesn't give them the excuse to rape and hurt people. And that's why we, especially Black culture, we've got to talk about the abuse issues, the beatings, the sexual molestations, the lies of our families, and the generational trauma. And I think if we have more conversations about that, maybe we'll treat each other better. And if we get more educated on, positive parenting skills, and start talking about, what happens when a kid sees physical violence and how that changes them, and how to make better families. Because if you have better families, I believe you have better communities, because people are looking out for each other. But so many people, they make fun of people who cry, who have feelings about other people. Happened to me at Tory Lane's case. They're like, oh my God, Kat, are you crying? Yeah, I cry. I cried many times, not just about Tory Lanez, but just about the injustice of it all. To see that in your face again is really traumatic. But also to see a little boy, see his father put in handcuffs 3 days before Christmas is gut-wrenching. And for anyone to think that shit's normal, you've been abused and you just don't even know it, or you've closed off your heart. And that's really, really sad. But I just feel like All these guys involved in this shit, it's just an abuse cycle of abuse. Some of the women became lesbians or were lesbians before, but even became more because once they're abused by guys and they feel totally powerless, especially if they're very, very young, they might, and if they didn't have a mother that protected them, they might sexualize that lack. You know, being hypersexualized. But that's one thing I feel about Diddy is that Diddy, his dad died, his mom, I don't know what their relationship was, but he doesn't respect women. And he hates women. He's an 8-year-old boy that wants his daddy. And his daddy's gone. So the only thing he can hurt is the person closest, which is probably going to be a woman. Or a artist that's not as strong as he is, or he's in the position of power. It just keeps going. I just hope they find out if Ray J had something to do with Whitney's death, and they can prove it. And also if they can find out what happened to Kim Porter and Heavy D and everyone else that was hurt. And how would he get a toxin like that? Or he pays someone close to them, whether it be in the hospital or in their house, to poison them or inject their food. That's how he's doing it. So what I suggest is anybody concerned about the case, wanting it to be open, Kimora Lee Simmons as well as other people, you need to contact the police that were involved, the police organization, and ask about the toxicology of all the people that were close to Diddy that died mysteriously, because the poison is in the body. If they still have the body, I don't think they're looking for the right thing. Anyway, this is Cat at Cat Tales TV. When I'm at the beach, my brain starts thinking, but I think the link is poison in every one of those people's bodies. Anyway, bye. Cat at Cat Tales TV. Check out my other videos.